Hello, welcome. Well, I'm making this video here to to give a little tribute and appreciation to the late comedian Chris Farley, who passed away back in December of '97, which was this year would be 27 years ago. I like to say happy birthday to Chris Farley. As I make this video, it is February 15th, 2024. Now, if Chris Farley was alive today, he would be 60 years old. Yeah. If he started taking care of himself, like within months before he passed at age 33, which was so young, somehow he would have definitely lived a longer life. And really, if he would have taken his situation seriously when it comes to doing drugs and whatnot, Chris Farley would have been around today. But unfortunately, he died at the age of 33, as we all know this, of a drug overdose. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that to this day, there are people, including yes me, who do miss the guy even though I never met him. I believe I was 10 years old when Chris Farley passed away. And at the end of the day, it's just sad. But anyway, I thought I'd point out some entertainment value movies and even SNL that he stayed in. Or for those who never heard of Chris Farley, check this out. This comedian out. Even though he's been gone for years, check him out. The first movie I'm going to point here is Tommy. Sorry, a little lack of light there, and a glare. But yeah, Tommy Boy, definitely a classic. Probably the #1 film when it comes to Chris Farley. This was Chris Farley's first motion picture film right after he quit doing Saturday Night Live for a while. But yeah, Tommy Boy, I highly recommend checking out this film. It's a classic. It's a good comedy about where he goes into a family-owned auto sale business. I'm not going to give out much details. You all know what this film is about, but for those who did not check this out, I highly recommend checking it out. A definitely comedy classic. Next is not quite as popular, but yeah, this film also stars Chris Farley and David Spade. Sorry, a little lack of light. Black Sheep, another pretty good film. It's been a long time since I've seen these movies, but not quite as good like Tommy Boy, but to me, pretty entertaining film still. Another good classic where Chris Farley plays like the younger crazy brother that he plays a younger crazy brother where his older brother wants to be a governor of the state of Washington. But yeah, that's the plot of the film pretty much. Next one is Beverly Hills Ninja. Another good comedy film, lively and funny. I heard Chris Farley was not really too big on this movie. He was embarrassed on some of the moves he did in the film, as far as I can remember, based on his biography. But you know, the sad truth about Chris Farley's life and so forth. But still, I mean, this is a good comedy movie. I highly recommend also checking this out. And now this one, I believe this is one of Chris Farley's last main roles when it comes to starring in movies. Almost Heroes. Yeah, this movie stars Chris Farley and Matthew Perry, which Matthew Perry unfortunately passed away last year, as we heard the tragic news on that. But yeah, a comedy movie, Almost Heroes, a comedy movie about where these other two explorers want to reach the Pacific Ocean to beat Lewis and Clark. That's pretty much like the plot of this movie. But they find themselves in a big situation. Almost history, yeah, almost legends, mostly ridiculous. Yeah, that's what this movie is pretty much about. Yeah, Eugene Levy is also in this movie, and others. But yeah, a pretty good another comedy movie when it comes to being the Chris Farley being the main cast and so forth. Chris Farley also appeared in other movies that he wasn't really like the highest cast, but he he would appear like in movies like Wayne's World, Wayne's World 2, Coneheads. I don't have those movies but it is what it is. Next one. Now this was before he started movies. Saturday Night Live, the best of Chris Farley. Definitely, if I remember correctly, this shows his most famous skits, while others they show like very quick clips of him doing other roles. Chris Farley did many roles in Saturday Night Live, but this is just again the best of Chris Farley roles when he was in SNL and so forth. Another good one, Saturday Night Live. I highly recommend checking this out. There was also another movie that Adam Sandler did. I think My Name is Chris Farley. I can't remember. There was a documentary about Chris Farley that Adam Sandler did. I Am Chris Farley, I think that's the name of it. I have to check that out one time. And also, I did see that video where Adam Sandler, I think back in 2019, where he paid a great tribute to Chris Farley. Remembering Chris Farley. Next one I have is a History Channel program. A History Channel program. This says Chris Farley Reckless Laughter, which is 50 minutes. Yeah, this is a biography, his biography, where it talks about his early life through his acting life and until the end of his life. But yeah, when it comes to Chris Farley, I just showed you my own collection of DVDs that I have of him. Yeah, he's definitely a well-missed comedian. There are people that still miss him to this day. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that, again, if Chris Farley was alive today, he would be 60 years old. But yeah, what happened to him in the long run, and for people who knew him well, they were not surprised when they heard the death of him, especially dying of a drug overdose, which Chris Farley definitely struggled with throughout his life. Not just with drugs, I mean, that happened later in his life, of course, but how he just struggled with like being funny all the time and trying to be popular and getting to be noticed and so forth. There's been other documentaries like biographies, but it's been a while since I've seen those. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say except I thought I'd pay a little tribute to the late Chris Farley. Again, as I make this video, it has been 27 years since Farley died. And, my heart goes out to his family who still miss him, including his fans that still miss him. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is. Yeah, even though I was 10 years old when Farley died, I didn't have. I mean, I knew him like later, a bit later in my life when seeing his SNL and movies and so forth, and of course later on hearing about that he passed was still a shock, even though it's been quite some years after his death. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. But anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching. And Chris Farley, if you were alive today, you would be 60 years old. Happy birthday. And thank you for watching again. And take care.